Good morning, everyone. I will call this meeting to order of the May 27th, 2025 DeKalb County Commissioners. Good morning, ladies. What you got?
Good morning to you. Hey, let's just go ahead and get started talking about our background check policies and procedures. And I had sent you the information on that, the change in our employee handbook. And this is all due to the fact that our insurance company is asking us to increase the times that we background check our employees. To give you a little bit of a history, we criminal background check and motor vehicle check all of our post-offer applicants, candidates, and then for most of our departments, we hadn't done those again. And then 2 years ago, the insurance company asked us to do background checks on our Sunny Meadows employees every 3 years. So, due to the fact that our turnover rate out at Sunny Meadows has been such that I only did one in those 2 years, that we had somebody actually hit their 3-year anniversary. But now the insurance company, as standard practice, is asking us to background check all department employees at their 5-year anniversary. We have checked with the departments who do their own background checks, post-offer, and they are going to be doing them at a frequency at least every 5 years, but some do it a little bit more frequently. So that's a comfort, that's good, and they will have that in their files. And we will, and Morgan will talk about that when we talk about our budget, but we will need to change some things budget-wise and also our policy and our procedures. So anyway, I sent you what I had covered with Andrew to change the wording of our policy in our employee handbook. And if you go ahead and you approve those changes, which I had highlighted on the email that I sent you, then we will send those to all of our employees, and our employees will acknowledge the receipt of the addendum to the employee handbook. They will sign, date, and return the form to us to acknowledge that they have received it. So anyway, what we probably need is maybe a little discussion, if you need to, about this policy, this procedure, and then for you to approve it so that we can get started getting it out to distribute it to all of our employees.
Comments? Questions?
Andrew, you approved of it as presented?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good with it?
Good with it? Need a motion?
We'll move that we accept the background check policy and procedure as presented.
Second.
Motion second on the floor. Additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Awesome. Okay, that's easy enough. Now comes the hard part of getting it out to all of our employees and then getting it back. Another thing, we are doing really well when it comes to our work comp claims. We just had, over the weekend, 2 comp claims that were closed out. So now we only have 4 active work comp claims, which is really great. Well, let's see, one of them is still from 2020, but the others, let's see, we have 2 from August of 24, and we have 1 from January of this year. So, and these are all from the sheriff's office. So I am sure that insurance trustees and IPEP will both tell you that they are thrilled. So we're doing something right. Yeah. And then, speaking of like safety, we have a CPR AED class coming up on June the 6th. We have a 10 a.m. session and a 1 p.m. session that is being taught by one of our dispatchers who is trained to train, and we're getting to our max. She has asked that we keep the class to 15 people in each one, and as I said, we're getting to our max, which will be great. And just to remind you that we will have new AEDs in all of our buildings, and so that will be good to have people who are at least familiar with an AED. Granted, it's a no-brainer to take it, and to be able to use it, but to just be familiar with the whole process will be great. And of course, the CPR training. So we're very happy that our department heads have, pushed this and that our employees are signing up. Very glad about that. Let's see, let's talk a little bit. We don't have much to talk about recruiting, and then I'll let Morgan talk about some things that we're going to need to do with our budget.
So currently we have no openings. Community Corrections just hired a new part-time field officer, and the sheriff did hire that part-time animal control person. Yeah. Budget-wise, since we will be needing to do all those extra background checks, I counted, and it would be about 47 additional background checks next year. And I'm estimating that will cost about $1,645. So we'll have to add a little bit extra money into our background check budget. And then I also went ahead and got a quote for plaques for next year. And we'll need about 22 plaques, and they quoted $374. But I'm thinking I want to put a little bit more money into there just in case. So just the background checks for those 5 years will be $1,645. That's an estimate. If somebody's been married or they've moved to different states, the cost goes up quite a bit.
Total for all 47, or is that for
That's just my best guess.
the total for all 47?
For 47, yeah.
And those are only the additional ones. That doesn't include our post-offer. So, and we don't know what the hiring will be for next year. So we'll probably keep what we currently are at with regard to our background check budget, and then add that to it just to make sure that we cover all of our bases.
Now, do you have that in your budget, or is
Yes.
It's an R.
Yep,
Okay,
that will be in
so-
our budget.
what comes to me that I pay from the commissioners?
Nothing with background checks.
Okay, then what do I pay?
Hmm?
I pay something.
Those are probably drug screens.
Drug screens.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yep, drug screens.
All right.
Yeah, that's, yeah. So whenever we have, there are just a few departments that do drug screens post-offer. Not every employee gets that. And those come out of their own budget. Now, any work comp drug screens, when someone has an incident, an accident, and then they go to the health clinic for treatment, they do a drug screen there. Now, that is something that the commissioners pay out of their budget. No. And hopefully, we're not increasing that because that would just mean that, we have more work comp claims. And of course, the trophy, Susan created a line item for us to add, or not trophies, but the years of service plaques. And so we are anticipating that program will continue for next year. And so we'll just have to anticipate that and add some money to our budget for that.
They quoted $374, but I think like $400 just in case.
Thank you.
Do we have a process in mind as when we present those plaques?
That is up to you guys. Now, I will say that, I don't know, about 50% of our department heads like to do their own presentations. And so, but if this is something that the commissioners want to actually do, in the past, the department heads have either asked the commissioners to present the years of service certificate, but about half of them have asked just to do it themselves. But with these plaques, since you guys, instituted that, we will certainly, let you guys decide. How would you like to do that?
What do you think, gentlemen? I think maybe it's a little something more special. Maybe Commissioner ought to present it.
Fine.
Agree?
We want all three of us or just one of us? 'Cause I have some plaques to give out, so why ask?
Maybe just rotate it or something. It wouldn't have to be all three, but at least be rotated between the three of us.
Well, what we'll do, we'll just continue to let you know what plaques we have available. We'll try to tell you in, plenty of time so that between you and the department head, you can figure out when a good time would be to make those presentations since, everybody's schedule is a little different. And of course, you have those departments that are 24/7, and you have those people who are working overnights, and, it might take a little logistics to get those done. Yeah, great. Oh, that'd be wonderful. Let's see. The only other thing I just want everybody to keep in mind, it was something that I had talked about a few weeks ago regarding parking for the DeKalb County Free Fall Fair. Regarding the arrangement that we have had with the Fair Board. And then also, we might need to put more signage in our parking lots downtown. Because it seems to be that when we have events downtown, and they start early in the day, it's lovely that things come to downtown. People bring money into downtown. That's wonderful. But you have employees who need a place to park. And so maybe just some signage that would say that the parking lots are for DeKalb County government business during regular business hours, something to that effect. And then we won't be chasing people out of our parking lots early in the morning, or we won't have to, rely on our county attorney to come and take care of his own property. So anyway, I don't want that to pass by. It's the end of May. September will be here before we know it. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's, and we have a meeting on Thursday to hash out more details regarding our health plan. So hopefully everybody will have their thinking caps on, and we will be ready to make some real decisions. PHP has already provided HR with some marketing pieces on their programs that they have. So we are, we're going to be looking at that and how best to distribute those to our employees. So. Mm-hmm.
Anything for Dottie? The parking. Where should we go from here with that parking situation? We need to contact the Fair Board or,
Yeah, I believe Mike Watson was always the contact that he just did it and then would bring it back to you guys.
I never had anything to do with it. Mike just took it on.
is Mike Lay still Fair Board President?
I don't know that. Yeah, don't know. Yeah. I mean, if you guys want me to take that on, I will do that.
Okay.
Okay, okay, all right, I will do that. I will contact the Fair Board. I'll check with Mike Lay first of all, and then if he's not, I'll have him put me in touch with the right people, and I'll report back to you.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks.
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Anything else? Thank you.
All right,
good
thanks,
day.
guys.
Payroll, let's pay the people. Everybody him. Exclude Parker.
I would so move we accept the payroll as presented.
I'll second.
Second, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Payroll is approved. Claims. You need the
I'll make a motion to approve claims.
Second.
motion and second to approve claims, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Claims are approved. Minutes.
We have two sets. So.
We have two. We have May 12th. You want to do them separate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion to accept May 12th minutes.
I will second. We need to make one correction. Under the Highway Department, moves on down to below the ordinance that we passed under it says miscellaneous. And I guess I'll read it. It says, Ben has been working on the countywide bride inspections. I believe that needs to be
Bridge.
I have a wedding brain.
Oh, Ben, what are we going to start in DeKalb County? All right, I'll get that fixed.
That's the only correction I know of.
Okay. A motion. Have a motion and a second on the floor. Any other corrections?
I'll amend my motion, yes,
Yeah.
As
and not go around inspecting brides.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries, May 12th. We have what, May,
Then we have the 21st.
So move we accept the minutes as presented for the May 21st.
I'll second.
we have a motion and a second on the floor, additional corrections? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? May 21st minutes are approved. Okay. Miscellaneous topics real quick, health board appointments. What we got there, Susan?
Yeah, Cheryl and her girls, they sent me 2 appointments. It looks like we have, Dan Schmidt is filling Janice Arrington's position. And this actually started, okay, wait. Dan will be starting July 28th of this year and completing Janice's. And then Nicole Schroeder will also begin July 28th of this year and is completing Andrew Dirkson's board appointment. So we just need an approval to appoint both of them to the health board and then Bill's signature.
I'll make a motion to accept Daniel Schmidt to the health board.
Second.
A motion and second on the floor, additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to accept Nicole, how do you say the last name?
Schroeder?
Schroeder, the Health Board.
A motion and a second on the floor. Additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye opposed. Motion carries again.
These are the minutes.
Okay. Mr. Ben, since we paid you, get up here and do your job. Oh, come on, we got time.
There's no new brides in the county?
Oh, there's not. Oh, that was kind of funny, wasn't it?
It was.
So, but no, I thought I had something for you guys, but, and Susan messaged me Saturday, but I don't, so, we're just plugging along with projects and gonna be getting real busy here real soon. Chip seal will be starting here probably the end of the June. API is planning on starting community crossings paving the middle of July is what it's scheduled for now. So that'd be 35 and 60 and 72. That portion of Auburn Drive should be around that same vicinity. Dust control right now is looking like the second week of June. They'll be here. That could change, always does. But that's tentatively what we're looking at for now. We're still working on putting pipes in, berming and ditching, and started mowing roadsides last week. So,
I see the roadsides they're growing pretty healthily.
oh yes.
Oh, yeah, all the rain.
Yep. So we started that last week and be doing that all summer.
The culvert on County Road 35, south of 12, is that still gonna get replaced
That's getting delivered tomorrow.
tomorrow?
So then, I don't think we're starting it this week. Probably be next week. But yeah, the pipe's getting delivered tomorrow.
Noticed the asphalt starting, I think.
Yep, it's coming.
How big is that?
I don't remember, Bill. I'd have,
Size though. It's not 12 inch, I take it.
no, it's bigger than that. It's at least 6 foot, I think.
If it's sinking, we gotta watch that.
Yeah, it's getting delivered tomorrow, so.
Yeah. Covered bridge roof,
He's looking at the end of August,
end of August. Okay.
if I remember right. I did check with him. I don't think he texted me. Because they want to do the Covered Bridge Festival dinner, and we're not going to interfere with that. So, it was into September. But yeah, it's coming. Bridge 17's moving along. That's the one on County Road 79. The deck removal's going pretty good, just a little time consuming. We was out there last week and they're up there with a mini excavator with a hammer on the end on that deck, hammering that off.
Oh,
Kind of creepy. You're standing out there.
really?
It just kind of bounces and shakes and, yeah, I mean, and the deck's gone. And they're working their way back off of it. Then they'll have to go back across and put pans in and pour the floor on top of it. All that's left out there is where they hammered it off, so the beams, whole floor is completely gone.
Wow. Has they got pans under the existing deck? They would have.
Yeah, that's what they pour the concrete on top of.
Yeah. Just replace those. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, there's a lot of bad areas in it. I was surprised how deep down in that concrete it went.
Hmm.
So it was kind of surprising. I knew there was, but you never really know until you get tearing into something,
Right.
how
Right.
far that actually went. It definitely needed done. And did speak to Auburn. They're not going to participate in Bridge 503, which is on Auburn Drive. So they're not going to join on that effort as far as putting a sidewalk on that bridge. So,
I kind of doubted whether they would, given the location.
right. Yeah, they didn't feel there's that much connectivity issue down there at this point. Not a lot of request for that area. So I'm going to, actually I already reached back out to them. We're going to proceed with the plans on the bridge without the widening, without the sidewalk.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? Questions for Ben? Comments?
Okay. You guys got a short day.
Really short. Okay, Ben.
All right, we have another meeting this week.
Yes, you do, don't you? Okay. Well, you guys have a good week. If you need something, let me know.
Okay, you too.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, Ben, maybe tomorrow I'll catch up with you. About noon? Okay. I'll swing by. Okay. Okay. I guess we'll jump into miscellaneous topics. Anybody have anything want to get off your chest? Discuss, complain about?
I don't have anything.
Don't have
Nothing. Where are we at on the space study RFQs? Those went out, right?
Yeah, it went out. I think June 14th. Could be wrong.
It was
There's
close to then.
a date when they have to have it back.
June 14th.
I
June 20th.
20th.
Yep, June 20th by 3.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Somebody?
Andrew, how's the Baymont?
Yes, we have a hearing, pull that up. We have a hearing on our judgment motion, meaning we requested win the case because they didn't even file an answer. Right, we have a hearing on that on July 1st. I have a meeting with Bill Hartman on June 19th to help prepare for that, and I think also with Joni of the county treasurer. And basically, we're just going to put forth all of our arguments for damages. The other side's only argument is that they have paid now quite a bit of it after we sued. So we had to file suit. I'm arguing for attorney fees, interest, and anything that we're allowed to request under the ordinance. even if they pay it all up before the hearing, I think the county is entitled to get its attorney fees and paid because of what they've drug us through. And their only argument, basically their argument is, hey, we've paid on it or started to pay on it, and they also said that they felt like there was cultural prejudice against them or something.
Yeah.
They've just been delaying is our problem. Not following through, so. And then on the other case, we're working on getting service of process on that company, which is the hotel that's basically been in the middle of the process of remodeling out there.
There was some movement, there's been movement on it in the last week.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
just
I've seen
assumed
some.
they might just leave it the way it looked, but.
They fixed the wall there, and they've got some movement out there, looks like. I was at Walmart the other day, so looks like they were doing
The one
something.
on the corner. The one right there in the corner, yeah.
Yeah, they've picked up some of the debris, and it looks like there's some movement out there at least. I can tell you that much. What it is, I don't know, but there's been some movement.
So we are moving along to enforce the ordinance, and it's taken a lawsuit, so we are probably in the position of being able to request a default for not responding as well and not filing an answer. As far as I can recall, they haven't filed any case either. Just strange to some extent why people would not file an answer to at least, try to have something, but they don't. So I'll plan to move for default judgment in that case as well, and then they'll set a hearing on damages on that one too for Country Inn and Suites.
And then we have the septic system issue with the ditch. What's going on with that? That was brought up a couple meetings ago.
Yep. I've found, I was able to find some good information in the county ordinance. Just finish this note to Rachel on the default judgment motion. Second, before I forget that. And then as far as on the Michael Gerard property, I looked at our county health ordinance. Apparently, I guess some of the background on this is that basically nobody has for years and years done this without complying at some point. So there's not really been that process set up to deal with it. But the code says the health officer has to give a detailed letter with a timeline of when it has to be complied with. That probably has already been done. At that point, combined with the state statute, the county attorney has the ability to file for an injunction in court. So I have contacted the health department just to confirm, to get a copy of that letter that would have been ordinance, basically an immediate order to stop using the system. I think they've had that, but confirming that, I want to see that letter. If that hasn't been done, then we'll get that official letter going. If it has been done, then looks like the county attorney then gets a request from the health department to file a lawsuit in circuit or superior courts here in the county asking for injunctive relief or have that septic system. Order is granted, then if they continue to use it, it should be enforceable through contempt, which can eventually include fines and jail time. So the lawsuit is the next step, and I'm working on pursuing
We do have somebody coming in on our June 9th meeting about raw sewage.
I think it's the neighbor.
Got it,
Is
okay,
this the same?
County commissioners that you're aware of it and that it's still a hot issue.
got it, okay.
Yep.
I haven't called her yet. I got a message to call her over the weekend. I will call
Okay.
her today and see what's going on with that.
But I was pleased to see that our county ordinance already has a nice little plan set up and how to deal with it. And it involves the county attorney filing a lawsuit.
I'd like you to proceed with that. Went on for 2 years now, so it needs to be dealt with.
Absolutely.
I don't see any reason.
Agreed, agreed.
Then one more, we have the property south of the school,
Oh, Albright,
Albright. I
Albright
didn't know
Road.
how we were covering it. So I have not seen any movement on it. Jace hasn't seen any movement on it. Ask the deadlines. What do you want, what orders do you want to give to him, or what do we want to do next?
Jake's coming in,
as, I'm trying to line up his other job schedule with the meetings. So we're trying. Otherwise, he can get the pictures and at least get them to you.
Me and send the pictures, but I drive by there all the time. There hasn't been any movement. Everything looks exactly the same.
Poles were supposed to be
Yep,
removed and
they're still there.
they're actually falling down.
I was gonna say, they have fallen. I looked at it the other day.
Yeah.
Could be an attractive nuisance.
is that something we can go ahead and initiate today? Start the process?
Well, as far as filing a suit, similar to what we did in Thrush, maybe? If you guys you gentlemen are wanting me to do that, we can definitely go in that direction. I'll have to make sure, well, I know we've got letters that Jace has sent out ordering compliance and
With timelines,
not complying.
With timeline.
with timelines and stuff, so it's not like he didn't know what was going on.
And you had him in. He came to the one meeting and they set up the time to meet, and then he wasn't there for that one. His coworker or employee or somebody was there for that. I know that Jace has a timeline of everything
How
that's
long has this
happened.
been going on? Jace has been dealing, because this is before Jim and I were commissioned.
Oh, my.
At least 5 months.
Oh, at least. Let me see if I can find it.
The timeline been long enough that we can move ahead?
I think so. I'll have to see if there was any other preliminary actions that would have to be done. If you want to instruct me to go ahead and pursue the line of lawsuit, or needed to be done before lawsuit, we can do that.
You guys too.
I think he's just defying the commissioners and stall us out.
It looks like December of '24 was, I think the first time that Jace was in, he was in here October of '24 on another property on County Road 35, but we might have talked about this one also. I don't see it in that one. So December, I believe, is when he started. That'd probably be about right, because at the beginning, I think you guys had given some extra time because it was winter. If I remember right, I think that was part of it.
Probably. Okay,
Do we need a motion on that, or is consensus good enough?
I would do a motion.
Motion,
okay, motion,
So move that we move forward with a lawsuit against the Albright property.
I'll second.
and motion and second on the floor, additional comments. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
all right,
Start the ball rolling, see what happens.
okay.
Speaking of the County Road 35, that pretty much has come to a complete halt too. I've not-
They have made some good
Yep.
progress.
They made really good progress,
It's
but
come to a halt.
it's come to a halt. Nothing more has been done.
So the next step there is we do have the lawsuit filed on that property. I was not pursuing, again, I think on that one, it's default judgment is the next step because they had actually started to comply. There were apparently some people living there that, according to the owner or the owner's family, were prohibiting the cleanup. Then they got out of the house, I think, for some sort of jail time. And then the cleanup was then started, and they made some good significant cleanup. But then I think I did even hear from Jace that it had slowed down, and then what you're noticing.
Has Jace reached out to him and talked to him since it slowed down?
You want me to,
That I can't.
I think maybe we should have Jace go out there and kind of see what's going on before we move forward with the judgment on it. See if there's something that happened, because I mean, they were doing what they were supposed to be doing, and then all of a sudden they kind of stopped.
the owner has some major health issues, I think.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, you know, it needs to be cleaned up or have someone hired to clean it up.
I agree. I just like to see what kind of, why it stalled out all of a sudden.
Okay,
Are you okay if I do that as the next step there, Jim, then? too?
yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
It's not gonna matter if it's this week or 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, see what's going on. If there's really no particular reason, then move forward with it, my feelings.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
I can do a Sunny Meadows update. We're still working through the processes. We're down people. We're trying to fill some spots. I'm going to talk to Dottie today about that. Really not too much movement, more of just paperwork behind the scenes right now that we're filing people for Social Security, Medicaid, and all that stuff. There really hasn't been too much movement.
Where are we at as far as the cleanup and getting Dale moved in?
I'll follow up with Larry today to see where we're at. I know there's been a lot of movement, and then the holiday weekend came, so I'm not sure where we're at and what the plan is. I'll meet with Larry today and see, hopefully get the cleaning crew in later this week and get Dale in soon.
Okay, okay. All right, last call, anything else? Hearing nothing, then we'll call this meeting adjourned.